Hi, there we go. The app that does the mixing crashed on me. So good morning, everybody. Welcome to Daily Paycheck. Here we go. Yeah, or not Paycheck. God, I'm telling you what. Mondays are like, aren't they just Mondays all the time for me? Anyway, good morning. Welcome to the Coffee Run here with John. We have a new paycheck starting this week. As you probably noticed, we did in the garage this morning. I ran a new strategy as a test today. I'm running the Fab 4. I'll run it today. I'll run it tomorrow. We'll see what we think about it. Making some tweaks as we go. And we'll see how it works out. So far, so good. We did a nice, easy run the first time, rough run the second time. But you can see even in the second rough run where it was starting to kind of build some steam to it. And we actually, Waylon and I come up with a tweak in the middle of the show. Like, hey, why don't you try this? Like, cool, let's try that. And it friggin' works, right? So I'll go back to the table here. I'll show you what that tweak is. And we'll take a look at the math on it and see if we like this one as a thing. So that's it. What else we have here? Who's here this morning? We have Randy Hill. Good morning, Randy, everybody. First one in here, and it was cool. And yeah, he realizes Kevin was the one on the around the table. So we had Kevin Smith was on the table with me on Friday night. So first non-YouTuber to be on there. Kevin and I had a chance to sit and meet. You know, we all sat together one day, had some lunch at one of the places, and we got a nice little chat. And he's been here every day with us in chat here on the show. He's also, you know, a lot of content putting into the Discord with us. He's a poker dealer, so I thought that's great. You know what I mean? And honestly, it should show you that it doesn't matter who's there, right, with me. We can talk about anything with anybody. And it makes a great show because it's about the people, not about the freaking craps, right? It's like I'm throwing the dice and doing crapsy stuff, but it's more about like let's just talk a little bit, right? Let's just have a good time and learn who each other are in the chat. I think it's kind of cool. This is all about the community after all. And Kevin, I think, proved that, right? Had a good time. It was easy, fun. Let's see who else is here. We got Buckeye is back. Good morning. Of course, my good friend Lou is here from Atlantic City. Lee's here and Anthony is here. Good morning to you. And yeah, it was a great show, even though we had the weird lag with Kevin. I don't know what happened. We had like a 15-20 second lag between my question and him being able to answer it, but we made it through. Once we realized how bad it was, we just, you know, we just kind of gave ourselves more time to talk and it worked out good. So anyway, that's the recap. Let's jump into today's show here. And yeah, I think we're going to move the trip around the table to Sundays and probably every other Sunday, most likely. I'm talking to Jeff, hopefully today or tomorrow, maybe, about Craps Chat, when we're going to start Craps Chat back up. And as you know, that show is always every other Sunday. So I think we're going to just slot in every other Sunday. We'll just do the trip around the table one week, Craps Chat the next week, and kind of hop over each other and do it that way. That makes good sense to me as far as the timing thing goes. So we'll probably do that. And I'll let you know for sure this week what that looks like. As soon as I hear from Jeff, we'll get it on the books and we'll get them scheduled out here. And I'll get some guys and gals on the schedule for that. The daily paycheck, I want to talk a lot about that today. I think we're starting to get a sense of what we like and don't like. We're 7 months into this thing. And I've actually got a spreadsheet that I haven't kept it up to date. But I'll show you how this thing kind of compounds itself, what the plan always was to see it compound. And I got to dig it up, and I'll do it here on the show to see kind of where it's heading. And I think you're starting to sense a little bit of where I'm at with like mentally playing the paycheck. Do I want to grind that 10% out with a grindy strategy or grind the 10, 20% out with the hit 'em early strategy, right? There are ways we can play that, you know, quick hitters, not just YOLOs, right? But quicker hitters where you're going to make your paycheck in 2, 3, 4 hits and be done with it versus 2, 3, 4 shooters. And there's a big difference between 2 or 3 or 4 hits and 2, 3 or 4 shooters when you're making a daily paycheck. You want to get in and get out. I think I'm sensing that I like the quicker runs better than the grinder runs as far as I don't want to be there for 60, 70 rolls. Which a lot of our early stuff was that, you know. So yes, Randy, I'm missing Craps Chat too, big time. We'll get it back. We will get it back for sure. All right, let's look at the paycheck. Where are we with the paycheck? Let me get my arrows going here. So far, the Dallas Drawdown, it won $5,700. I didn't actually update the number. It won $5,700, $6,000. That was a good month for us. That was actually the first time that a paycheck strategy has made enough money for a month. Like 5K in a month is a good number. And it's not even where we're going to be. Like when our bankroll is 10,000, that was a $3,000. Actually, the most of that month was a $1,500 bankroll. When the bankroll's at 10K, that number goes way up, right? And you'll see in a minute here how we progress. The compounded size of the buy-ins and the compounded size of the wins makes the whole thing work better if we can keep up the pace. We had a 78% win rate in the Dallas Drawdown, which it seems pretty good, right? Here's the thing. This strategy really only loses when the YOLO loses. Like if you get the come out 70, you lose your 1,500, that blows, right? And you're done for the day. That's a flat loss. So that's where the 5 losses are. If we catch a point and draw down right away and we 7 out in the very next throw, every time that happened this past month, every single time we came back and won, right? There was 0 times where, now I know that's not normal, but there were 0 times when we lost the first roll after the come out that we didn't come back and make it. As a matter of fact, after the YOLO, we did, session 2, came back and won again. Every one of those 5 has another 5 wins after it. We came back and won it back. That's why there's 8. That's why it's 18 and 5. That's why it's more than 20, because we came back and won on those things. Just played extra sessions. So it's a good way to play in terms of win rate. Even so, right? You expect to lose 16.67% of the come outs of the initial YOLO, right? Which means we should have an 83% win rate. We're actually below where we should be, if you think of it that way, right? But if you're going to say that the only way that it loses really, or has lost, is on the initial throw, that number should be 83%, not 78%. We're actually below where I expected it to be. And we still made money with it because we made good money. We made, a higher percentage of profit every day. So it was a good one. I enjoyed that strategy a lot. And we actually learned lessons from it, right? The drawing down. The nice thing about the drawdown versus the build up, when you build up and you take, let's just say 64 across, or in our case here, 640 across, and you go hit 1, press them all, hit 2, press them all, hit 3, press them all, then you're out of it. 4 rolls, you're out of it with your daily paycheck, but you're always at that same risk the whole way through. You never pull anything down. This one, huge ass risk on 1 roll. The minute you get a hit, poof, your risk goes down to almost a third. The next hit, you're out, right? So the reducing of the risk is pretty cool. We applied some of this logic today to Waylon's Fab 4 strategy. I only did it one time because we ran out of time. I'd like it. I think it's a good little addition to that strategy. I think that strategy on its own face has some good merits to it. And I want to break it down back here at the table here in just a minute and look at that strategy kind of in a microscope and see about some things we can do to make it even better or more the way I would prefer to play it. So drawing down locks it in and it reduces the risk. It locks profit and it reduces risk both. It does a really good job for us, especially in that strategy. So we'll break that down here in a minute, but let's take a look at all the strategies. And again, overall, we are at a 75% win rate across all the strategies, which is pretty good. Couple stinkers in there, right? The storm was a stinker. We won $9 over a whole month. It was terrible. Which is funny because it's a 6, 7, 8 strategy and it's kind of a drawdown, but when you're in a drawdown and you have the don't pass bet and you're throwing well, that don't pass will bleed you dry. That got bled dry in the storm. I kept picking that point every time. The odds maker was good in terms of most of the time it was pretty stable. We had a couple of really bad days on that thing, and it cost us. It was a 60% winner. Only won 640 for the whole month. That's 2 stinkers in the whole thing. The Dolly Latterson was 80% win rate, $1,000 loss. And that was because we played that thing stop loss 0. And if you remember in the Latterson, some of those days we had 120 throws. Same with the 3-point Molly. There was 3-point Molly days at 175% of the time where I had over 100 throws to get to our profit. Like some of those things are so grindy. It takes 100 throws to get to where you got to get to, especially if you start out from behind. that's a bitch, you know, and I'm not sure I love going to quote unquote make my daily paycheck if I'm going to do this and go to the casino and try and win dinner money, right, for me and Kat every day, or show money or whatever, where I got to spend 100 freaking throws on it, right? Ian's here. There you go. Love the shirt, baby. Yeah. Oh yeah. I picked it for you, my friend. But yeah, I'm not sure I love going and throwing 100 times to get my check. If I'm gonna get 5 o'clock in the morning and go play alone, I don't want to throw 100 damn times. I want to get in and go home. That's why I'm liking the Red Cross more. That's why I'm liking the basic 6, 7, 8, because the 6, 7, 8 is like a little bit of a don't. I can rock the box really quick and then bug out, right? That's why that thing won so much, because we played that 6, 7, 8 so tight, right? A little bit of a don't, some odds, hammer the box for 3 rolls and then get the hell out of there. Good. The way we played it was good, right? The drawdown, in and out. I think it's a better way. I'm more liking that as the paycheck way than the grindy way. The grindy way is a great way to play when I'm out looking for a night, right? But maybe not the paycheck. Maybe, you know, maybe I've been wrong this whole time, you know. And I have said to you before, I'm 100% happy being wrong. You know, I was talking to JB, and I'll show you some stats here. I've been crowing about one of my stats for a couple of months now, and I was wrong. He looked at it and goes, wait a minute, that number can't be right. I'm like, well, of course it's right. It's what I'm doing, right? He's like, no, something's wrong. I went back in the code, and I looked at my code, and sure enough, I got bad math in there. I was adding the wrong number in, and we got the right number back, and now, of course, I'm back to random again. I'm okay to be wrong. I'm okay to look at this thing and go, I've been throwing now for 2 years, the chopper toss, right? I'm random. Like there's days like today where it's 5 7s in a row because I was in a groove, 5 8s in a row because I was in a groove. We had 4 6s in a row because I was in a groove. Ultimately, you add all today and last week together, I'm random. And I think most of us probably are. That's okay to embrace that, right? Being random though, and still having a 75% win rate, I'm down with that. Now the win rate comes down because the excess plays are terrible, right? We're 13 and 14, 48% win rate on the excess. And that's because the excess plays often become, I won 575, let's go 64 across, and I throw an immediate 7. So it's a loss. A lot of times the excess plays just don't work, but look at how much money they make. 13 and 14, but we made $5 grand on them, because sometimes excess you lose $60, sometimes you win 500. So anyway, Paycheck's doing well so far. We're working this thing now called the Fab Four. I don't know how it's going to do yet. I may not even select this strategy to go, but the Fab Four is this: $100 on the pass line, $100 each, 4, 5, 9, and 10. I'm going to show it to you here on the table in just a second. We're doing a parlay on the pass line. We could do a parlay press move on the pass line, which is way more aggressive. You pull a parlay press move off, you're going to win 10 units in 3 or 4 shooters. I'll show you how that parlay press works when it works out. It actually worked out for us today. The boxes are 1 hit and off, or we can rock a drawdown. So I'm going to show you here in just a second how this looks. We can make some decisions as we go throughout the week. I may throw a tiny ladder in there. We'll see about a tiny ladder and how that might impact the wins. It's not going to recover the losses, but it may accelerate things a tiny bit if we're upside down. So we'll see. We'll see how it works out. Okay. So with that said, let me run over here to my browser and give me a second here to pull this up. It may take me a minute to find it. So bear with me. Glasses on. I'm going to go to, let's see, let me go over here. Hold on one second. I'm going to go to my drive and find something. So give me a second here to do a drive search. Meanwhile, you can look at my stats there, my wonderful and awesome stats. Drive.google.com. I got to go to my spreadsheets. And I've got one here called Daily Paycheck Builder. That's the one I want you to see. Okay, so this one here, let's take a look at this. This is going to be a tough one to look at. I'm going to zoom into it. And I've actually kind of not been keeping up with this thing, so bear with me. I'll show you what the plan was, and I can move into it here, but here's how it looks out. We start in July, right, with a $10,000 bankroll, buying for 100, win 100, and we actually won 110, right? And here's how it worked out. Every day you track it. Every day you're buying in for a little bit more, right? 10,100, 10,002, and every day you're buying for a tiny bit more, okay? And these are January, August, and every day your buy-in goes up by a tiny bit based on how much you win. And now here we are out here in March, right? In March, by this time, our buy-in should be about $4,500. We're buying in and for about 3,000. We're a little behind. But you can see every day you buy in, your bankrolls more, you buy in for more, you win more. Bankrolls more, buy in for more, you win more. We have not been doing this. I've been keeping the bankroll buy-ins the same every day instead of doing the compounded every single day thing, okay? For a reason. I want to keep the numbers easy in that garage. I want to make sure we're not farting around with crazy bet sizes. I want to keep things stable as I can. But really, if we're compounding it like this, we would be at $100,000 in, where are we at here? Where's my in June, we'd be at $95,000. That's the plan, right? We got a few months to go here. I've not been following the compound everyday plan. I've been following the compound every month plan. So we could be looking at, doing this a little bit more high level as we go. When I get to my goal, we'll reset the whole thing. I'll do it again on a more daily compound. The problem with the daily compound is that it's hard. We are, and by the way, we are about 50 days away at our current rate of getting there if we keep winning at the current clip. But you'll see as we get through here, our buy-ins are going to start being $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000. So we'll get there as we go. That was the plan all along. And again, we are random, 6,000 rolls. SRR is about 6. The BSR is about 4. Both of those numbers are exactly where they should be. This should be about 8.5, right? The SOR, which is your 7-out ratio, which is essentially the number of rolls you have as a shooter, right? Shackelford says 8.5. Guess what? We're 8.5, right? Box number should be 4. We're at 3.9. SRR should be 6. We're at 5.78. We are exactly random all over the place. And at the same time, back to me on screen, we are exactly random. We are also winning at 75% of the time. So do the math there. We're doing good, right? It's not because of the rolling. We're not winning 75% of the time because I'm a great shooter by any means, right? Even if I was at a 6.5 SRR instead of a 5.8, we'd still be about the same rate here and maybe a little bit more, but really it's about getting the hell out. It's about strict goal setting. It's about, I think it's just a lot of this is about discipline. A lot of this is about let's just not chase the losses too hard and let's not be degenerates with the wins. It's let's live live in the curve, not on the fringes of the curve. You live in the fringes of the curve where you're always at 0, always at a win. That's a problem for you, right? If you live inside the bubble of the curve, like we kind of do, that's where I think we're doing better than most people because we're playing here, right? All right, let's go to the table. Let's go switch back. Go back over here. I'm going to get I need to get these guys over here. Hold on. Booyah. They can see it too. All right. Let's look at what we're doing right now. And let's work out a couple of ideas. Okay, here we go. I'm going to get these goofy, what do you call it, rubber bands off the table. Let's do it. Let's show you what we're playing and how we're playing it and why this thing potentially works. Let's put a thing out there. I'm going to go with just $500. I'm just going to, actually we'll do $600. Just because we're going to keep resetting the bankroll all the time. $600 in the rack, okay? We're going to go $100 in the pass line and $100 on the 4, 5, 9, and 10. This is Wayland's Fab 4 strategy, okay? Nice and easy. It's $500 per shooter, okay? And I have $100 left over in case I need it. Here's the way this thing works. It's super, super simple, okay? The pass line is what the pass line is. Let's just play it straight up, okay? Come out 7, fantastic. Come out 11, fantastic. You take $100 and you rock a little bit of profit. And you're solid, right? You're locked in. That's a great outcome. I've been parlaying that, but whatever. The other part of this, though, is you get a point. Let's say the point is 8, and we hit a 9. Okay, the 9 pays 140. Okay? And then you say, you know what? All the box bets are off. If I get any outside number, the 9 and 5 pay 140, the 4 and 10 would pay 200. In either case, that comes into the rack. Okay, again, the $100 here is for laddering. Comes into the rack, $140. Now, these bets are off, which means if we roll a 7, we lose the pass line. You can replace the pass line from that previous win, and you've locked 40 bucks in. There's no way to lose. Once you get a outside number, you're guaranteed to win at least the 40 bucks. You're locking the $40 in, which is beautiful, okay? Pass line. If you hit the point, fantastic. You locked in 100 bucks, right? If you hit the point while these are off, cool. Take the 100 bucks back in. Now you've got 240 locked in profit. You're halfway to your paycheck or whatever, you're on the way to your paycheck. That's the idea, right? One hit up here to lock for sure 40, hopefully keep the 140. You win the point, that extra 100 bucks, now you're at 240, right? This becomes a free play for you. These bets here make that a free play, which is fantastic. And in fact, think of it this way. Set a point of 8. Let's say you're up here, 555 on the ATS. Okay? Let's pretend. Let's say you hit the 9. Get my chips right for 140 bucks. Check this out, right? You hit the 9 for 140. These bets go off. The $100 gets put aside just in case you got to replace the pass line. These 3 chips cover your ATS. So really, that 115, you can hold it aside and say that covers this bet and that bet, and I have a quarter locked in profit. Now, 500 bucks to win a quarter seems ludicrous. That's where this thing goes, oh, that's going to be super grindy. If I am 0.7ing out all the time, or if I'm getting a quick 7, winning a quarter at a time with 500 bucks at risk seems a little bit nuts, right? That's where I was like, I don't know if I want to do this or not, right? But, when it's a 10 or a 4 that gets hit, it's not 25 bucks, right? You're winning 200 on that one, not 140. So it's a little bit bigger. Really, this becomes kind of a pass line strategy, right? Now, one thing we talked about today with Waylon was this. What if we did this? What if we said, cool, let's take what we learned from the drawdown. Now watch this one. Same thing, 9 wins, 140, 125, 140, and we can draw down. Take 200 bucks with you, make the outside numbers 50 each. In fact, you could even do this. You can say instead of 50 each, we can go in here. Go 50-50, 25-25, and $35 here on the 6, right? Or 30 bucks on the 6. That way you're going to get 50 bucks almost everywhere, right? This could be made 42, whatever. But make it so they're all paying the 50. Now look at this. You had 400 bucks out here, right? You bring back 360 bucks back, right? On that hit. Whatever else comes in here, it doesn't matter what comes, right? You're going to win, I don't know. Let's say it's a 9, and the 9 wins the 70 bucks on the 9. Fine. Drawn, you can take it all down. This might be a 2-hit and get out of here kind of a thing. Fine. Where would you be if you did that? You'd be at 100, 200, 3, 4. That's your 400 bucks that you had out here. And that makes 175, 215 bucks, $210 locked. And that bet's covered. Not bad, right? You can even go back out here with a little 6 at 8 from that mess in there and play it out. I think drawing down is kind of cool. It's a cool option if you want to do it. Now, I think also you could grab, we talked about because you're not playing on the long rolls, you're missing out and stuff. Doing some ATS, doing some hard way parlays, doing some other things. Let's roll it out. Let's roll it out with a drawdown and a small ladder. I'm going to put 4 green chips in here. Actually, I'll do 200 bucks in green as kind of a side bet if we need a ladder up. Here we go. Let's come out. And I'll just let you see it a couple times here. Let's get your thoughts on it as we go. There's a 6. So our first point's going to be a 6. We'll let the ATS go. I mean, I'll put it up there just because it's fun, but who cares? All right, that is a 9. So 6, 3, 9. Here's what's going to happen. Let's try it with the ladder, okay, or the drawdown. 9 pays 140. 140. And again, if you virtually think of the 100 and the 15 being you're covered, 25 locked in profit. I'll take 200 bucks back with me. And we'll do that. We'll do 100, 50, 50, or 50 between the 4 and 10, and 100 between the 5 and 9. I'm not going to grab the 8, although I certainly could grab the 8. I'm just not going to. If you wanted to, how that would look is this. And here's an interesting way to do this, actually. Make the 5 and 9 look like 35 each, and grab a $30 8. That way I'm going to get 50, 50, 50, 50, and 35 on the 8. Not a bad way to spread it out, get an extra number on that first drawdown. But our rack is looking pretty tight. There's a 6. That's the point. So in this case, right, the strategy works perfect. You draw down the outsides, you win the pass line. If you're playing the regular Fab 4, you're done. That shooter made you money on the number and money in the pass line. Bob's your uncle, right? We can ladder that up or press that up if you want to. These numbers out here, to me, are still active and kind of paid for. Or if you bring that back to the rack, our rack has 440 bucks in it. We started with 500 total, right? We could ensure ourselves a lock by bringing all this other stuff down, or take the aggressive stance at it, right? Let's just take a little run and see what happens here, right? The pass line can be a super powerful play when it works out. Here's the 5. Don't need this bet anymore. I'll move it to the 6. Again, we're still in that drawdown mode up here on these numbers, right? We drew them down once. There's the 7. It all goes bye-bye. And we're going to be upside down a little bit. How much? Let's see. We start with 5. We've got 345. So we're down, whatever, 165 or something like that. And we snatched defeat from the jaws of victory, if we say. Here we go. Watch the ladder, though. We're going to go. I'm going to need more money, obviously. Let's reset the bank. I'm going to put like this so we can see where we're at. Let me take all this away. I'm going to make a note here. Okay, we are 150. We're 165 in the hole. I'm going to put the whole money over here. Okay, 165 in the hole from that last run. Let's come back out with a baby ladder, quarter each, not a full ladder, a baby ladder. We'll come back out, hard 4. We'll just take it down. Let those 4 numbers be the ones. Midnight. Let's see if we can't make this tiny bump make us money over time. There's a 9, 175 on the win. 200 for 25, actually. Okay, and let's bring it down. Let's go 25 on the 10, 50 on the 9, 50 on the 5. Leave the rest in the rack. Now what's in the rack is 550, right? We started that out with 600 bucks. No, 625 we started with, so. 11. I'm liking this ladder now. 10, sweet. 50 bucks on the 10. And your last ladder down brings back 100 bucks. You got quarters out there. Actually, what you probably do at this point is bring all of that back as a black chip and maybe go with 50 bucks. 10, 20, 30. We'll do 55. We'll do 55, but $54. Leave the 4 out of it. I owe the world $5. And there we go, $21. All right, we're good. Drew it down to something simple on the inside. We're locked in profit. We got our 625 back. Right here it is. There's your 625 bucks. That's what we started with, this little round out here. We have it all back in the rack, plus some locked profit on that one, and we just hit an 8. That's awesome, 14 bucks. Getting them both going. 5. Awesome. 15 for 1. Little baby press. 8 again. Sweet. 21. Let's just leave that out there. Go to 30 bucks with it. How about a 4, shooter? What do you think? 3. 8 again. Love it. Go to 42 with it this time. Drop $2 to make it easy. Another 3. Boy, the 3s are hot. Hot salsa. 6. Fantastic. 21. Let's drop a couple of bucks. Make it look like 30. I probably should have kept the nickel out there. Okay, here we go. 4 hard. Oh, baby. Look at us go. Look at us go. 125 down here. Okay. And again, we're working our way backwards. We have a couple of options here, right? We said this line could be parlay pressed, or we could say we need to recover all what's in there, bring it all back, come on down to 50, and restart the process, but from a lower level. We're still playing the same hand. The puck is off now. And again, we came out here with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 625 was what we started this whole round with. There that is. Okay. We lost 165. There's 150, 65. This pays off that, which means laddering down and having a halfway, I mean, not even a great roll, but a little tiny roll, we have $100 in profit. Earned our way back. I like the drawdown of this thing to keep it going. I'm going to reset everything. We'll do it one more time. Let's play it out clean. Take all this mess away. Because again, this excess play doesn't really matter. It's not part of the whatever. It's just, if you catch a lucky roll, you catch a lucky roll from that point. Let's do it one more time. We'll do a pass line. 4, 5, 9, and 10. Let's draw it down, see what happens. Here, coming out. Coming out. We got a 5. Okay, 5. Boom. Bring that back in. Pass line is the number. There's a 10 hard. Awesome sauce. $200 for the 10. That's great. Bring it all down here. There's 500. I'll drop the $100 out here. We'll put $100 in action. 10. So we'll do 25, 25, 50 on the 9. That's our $100 in action. We have our whole $500 back in the rack. Nothing bad can happen here, right? We can certainly tie, which is not a bad result, but anything else we do is going to be a nice win for us. 5. Awesome. There's the point. Boom. If you look at this right now, 200 in profit. Actually, 300 in profit. We start with 5. So we have $300 in profit on that move right there, which is great. You could leave $25 on each, stack the pass line up, and be aggressive down here because you've got another crack at it, right? Coming out, it's a 6. Let's play it through, right? I think the aggressive pass line, I'm telling you, I know people don't like it. That can be the secret to success sometimes, right? It really can. There's a 5. Again, we're laddered down, who cares? $35. Take a quarter, pump to 50. The 9, same thing. $35. We'll just switch them. Those will both pay $50 now. Everything pays $50 out there. There's a 6. That's the point. Boom. $200. You parlay it, you're back. There's 350, 450. There's 400, 550, 570, right? Just boom, little parlay down there. And the drawdown sets you up to not give a shit. I love the drawdown. The drawing this thing down, that locker, and giving you that sense of who cares. Fantastic. Fan-freaking-tastic. Love it. Love it. All right, let's come on back. Come on back. Let's see. Oh, I got JR cussing out here. I've never seen JR say a sideways word to anybody in his life. What is JR swearing about? He says it's an effing profit center. What are you talking? Is that the pass line? I don't know what you're getting after. That's awesome. The hybrid Fab 4 drawdown. We are all random Randys. Absolutely, right? We are all Randy, and it's okay. It's okay to be Randy. Let me go over here. The Fab 4. I like the Fab 4. I like the drawdown as an option to it. I think it's fun. The drawing down works, and it keeps you. The thing that was bugging me upstairs was two things. One is PSO sucks, of course, right? Two is I got my hit. I turned the bets off like you're supposed to, and then it's like 7, 8 rolls later, you're watching it go by. You don't want to have the FOMO. The drawdown gets you out, right? So the drawdown anyway, in 2 hits, you're locking profit from just the drawdown. And we start the pass line, right? The pass line, that parlay pass line win, that thing can make it, man, on its own. And if you watch like our show we did with Bo Parker, the dice coach, way back in the Craps for the Cure, one of his go-tos is that pass line parlay. He does it 3 times or twice. He goes, you take a pass line win, you stack it. You win that, you stack it again, and then you're back to base. He does a double parlay. Me, I do the parlay, pull. Like I keep laddering up, but I always pull the second one. He's doing the third ones. There's money on that pass line because as you saw here, as you saw in the garage this morning, that thing gets on a streak. And the pass line can win 4 or 5 in a row, lose 4 or 5 in a row too. But when it gets on one of those positive ones and you're on it, you can make up for a lot of badness. It really can. So anyway, there's all that. Super fun, man. Super fun. Let's see. There's instead of parlay, would odds be better? So here's the thing with the odds, right? Let me put this out here. I'll put the comment up on screen. The reason why I don't put odds out there on this one, although the odds do pay true, is I don't want to put more money from my rack on the table. You follow me? I don't want to put more money from my rack out there. I've said we're gonna risk burn, whatever you want to call it, $500 on that shooter. If I take a hit, right, or whatever, and we go and we take the whole 140 and drop it as odds on the pass line, I've done no work. I get free odds, but now I got to get a second hit, right? Or you could say, instead of parlaying it, hold the $100, let a point come out, use the $100 as odds. I can see that too as a thing. It would pay a little bit more, but the more likely event is that you win the come out, not that you win the point being hit, right? So you put your money, you stack it up there. If you get a point hit with your stacked bet, that is a free bet, right? Your ROI on that bet is the same. Let me show you what I mean by that. This is, if you look at this thing, and this is an important, I'll leave it zoomed in there so you can see it on the vertical too. Think about money out of your rack versus money won sometimes, okay? And I think that's an important point for us to look at. Let's just go here to the pass line, okay? And if you take this thing and you win it and you stack it up, right? You're still only got the baseline as risk, right? When the next hit comes and you bring back $300 or 3 units to 1 for the one risk that you had, you're in good shape. I like the chances of that happening from here with the puck off more than I like the chances of taking that first win, getting to a point of 6 and making that thing odds in the backside. Okay, it's nice if it wins, if you hit the 8, but you're the underdog here, right? If that 8 happens to hit and you're 100 and you're going to win 120 on the back, right? It's a $20 difference, right? You're winning the $300 still, plus the $20 spiff on the odds, but you have to make this number be the one that does it for you versus that where I've got that great eight ways to win on that pass line. I would rather have this be the way that I win it. I'll give up the $20 for I hate to say a guarantee, but a stronger bet when I got the hammer. That's the reason why I parlay versus doing the odds. It's the same risk out of your rack, right? There's no different to what comes out of your rack unless you're going to take this. And let's say you're on the 9. The 9 wins 140. And you go, okay, $100 in odds, 40 to the rack, and now you throw a 7, right? That's money out of your rack as odds, which I don't love. So I wouldn't take this win and use it as odds unless I took a couple of wins and used it as odds. Does that make sense? So there it is. It's just, again, the money you win becomes kind of your excess odds play. It's free money, right? And it's free money that works in the come out, which I really like a little bit better. Let's see. Darksider says, why mess with the pass line? We know it's a losing bet over time. They're all losing bets over time. Everything's a losing bet over time. For sure. Let me go back to the other screen. They are all losing bets over time. The pass line, though, like the don't pass, they both can get into those good grooves, right? Where you can win 4 or 5 in a row. That's the only reason why I mess with it. The only reason why. You want that streak to happen. And in the core Fab 4 from Whalen, you get the one hit, you lock the $40. Now you have the pass line as a totally free bet, which is pretty cool. I like that part of it. I like the drawing down as an add-on a little tiny bit better. But again, we're going to give it the week. We're going to give it the week, or at least a couple days to give it a shot in the garage and see how we feel about it. I want to get a sense of like, what's it feel like to play this thing for a couple days versus just one afternoon? And what does it feel like for you to watch it? And like, would you do this or not? So we have to kind of experience it all together and see how that does. The parlay press makes great sense in the don't. The problem with the parlay press on the don't side is that the come out becomes your nightmare. So I've done it many times in the casino. The parlay press and the don't works on a shitty table. When it's going bad and that thing is grooving on the 0.7 ounce, it makes so much money. The problem is the come out 7s and 11s destroy you. So I've had so many times where I've been like parlay pressed, like, 1 unit to 2, parlay win, 2 units to 4, parlay win, and then the big old 8 unit bet out there, and it's a come out 7. Like that's where it gets soul crushing. It works better on the pass line because the come out 7s end up really steamrolling it. The don't pass wins better, frankly, on like a Paroli type of thing where you're not, I don't know. That come out 7 is a bitch. It's so hard to overcome. And that's why I think the pass line does a better job, but it works in the don't. The drawdown is smart. The pass line is a bleed over time. Well, I understand what you're saying. Again, you're looking for a streak. You're playing the pass line looking for the gold rush, right? You're looking for a streak. You could play it Baccarat style down there. You can play it from the don't if you want to, but to me, like those, you saw the first run today, right? The first run today we won $1,000 super quick because the pass line got on a hot run. So, all right, there we go. Oh yes, crash measure. I need the chips. You need 17 more people. So let's go back here. I'm gonna go back to the very front screen because Joe brought this up and I forgot. I got to put a note, Joe, to make sure I say it every day. So give me a second here. We're gonna go back up to here. Actually, I'll go to here. Sorry. I'm in the question section, right? Joe from Craftsmaster Journey is building a throwing station for us to donate at the Craps for the Cure in October, which, by the way, will be in Vegas, October 19th weekend, bookmark it. He is building a table, handmade, to give away. So he was looking for chips. He's doing something with chips. I don't know what. He's kind of keeping it close to the vest, I think. To build the chips into the table somehow. So that's going to be a thing. If you've got chips, send them to Joe. You can get to Joe on his channel. You can comment to him. You can DM him on our Discord. Get with Joe. Send him your chips. He'll incorporate them into the throwing station in a pretty special way. So there's the announcement. I'll put that up there every day from now on, Joe. I'll add it to my front screen so I don't forget to say it. But yeah, get Joe your chips, and I'm looking forward to seeing what you come up with for the table, for the giveaway. That'll be cool. Alrighty, That's it, folks. It is 9 o'clock. Time for work. Got to go to that day job and make the real money. So I will see you tomorrow for round two, at least round two, maybe rounds 2 and 3 of the Fab Four tomorrow. If we're not loving it, we'll switch it out and try. This is a week of trials. We'll see how the week goes. So that said, out of here. Have a good evening or a good day, and I'll see you tomorrow. God bless y'all. Bye.